What are the best booster boxes to buy in 2025? Because nowadays it can be incredibly confusing what products you should buy and what products you probably shouldn't buy. So in this video I'm going to try to give you some more clarity on what the best booster boxes in my opinion are to invest in 2025 so you can make the best investment decisions possible. Now if you're newer to the channel, my name is Noah, most people know me as Ndup. On this channel we make videos about Pokemon investing, collecting and anything that has to do with Pokemon cards. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. The first booster box that we're going to talk about is the box from Paldea Evolved. Now, this is a really interesting one because Paldea Evolved has become incredibly expensive in the past couple of months. And I think that this is for a couple of reasons. And the first one is probably that the set contains a lot of art rares. And not just a lot of regular art rares, a lot of art rares that people really like. Now, the most popular one obviously is going to be the Magikarp art rare, the one from Shinji Kanda, which is so incredibly expensive right now. That's the most expensive card from the set, and it's just mind-blowing how much this card is going for in a PSA 10. But besides this Magikarp, there are a lot of other art rares in the set that people really like, and also these cards are starting to become more and more valuable. Now, like I just said, Paldea Evolved also has this really sought-after Magikarp, and everybody wants to have this card. It's just pretty difficult to pull, and people really want to have it. It's just an amazing artwork, but it's incredible at this point how much this card is going for, especially in a PSA 10. And it seems like Paldea Evolved only keeps increasing in value, so because of that, it's probably a really good investment at this point. Now, the set is already very popular because booster boxes are almost going for $500 already, even though it's a booster box from the Scarlet and Violet era. So I think Paldea Evolved has a really big chance to increase in value in the future. Now, by the way, I forgot to mention that the further we go into our list, the better the booster box is in terms of investment. So the number 5 on our list is, in my opinion, the best booster box investment of 2025. And the second one is already a little crazier than Paldea Evolved because you maybe already guessed that it was going to be on this list, because the second booster box is going to be Destined Rivals. Now, Destined Rivals is the first Team Rocket set in 21 years and people just love Team Rocket. The set also features Mewtwo, which is a really popular Pokemon, and people are going absolutely crazy for this set. The prices of Destined Rivals booster boxes have already gone so crazy so quickly for the time it has been in the market that it's just mind-blowing. And in my opinion, since it features Team Rocket and a lot of people are growing crazy about this set, it might be the next Evolving Skies. Now, of course, it's really difficult for a set to be as good as Evolving Skies, but I think Destined Rivals is getting pretty close to the level of Evolving Skies. And that's not just my personal opinion, because the majority of the community is going so crazy over Destined Rivals already that it's increasing in value fast. Like, really fast. Now, I'm really curious, what do you guys think that's going to happen with Destined Rivals? Leave it down in the comments, I'm curious what your opinion is. Now, if you're a Pokemon card fan, but at the same time you like to make money with the cards and you like to see them as an investment, you should definitely join my Pokemon community. I created a community called the Pika Academy, which is filled with experienced collectors and investors and more than $800 worth of investing courses. We do weekly group calls, you can ask questions to the entire community, and it can be incredibly valuable if you're into Pokemon card investing. Now, here's the crazy part, because the first 70 members can get access for only $3 a month, while there are $800 worth of courses in the community. Because I want to give as many people as possible access to this valuable content, so if you're into Pokemon investing, go to the link in the description and join the Pika Academy now. There are only a couple spots left for the first 70 members, and after we hit 70 members, the price increases, so check the link in the bio and I'll see you in the community. Anyway, it's time to move on to the next booster box, which is going to be the booster box of Surging Sparks. Now, this is a really interesting one as well, because this booster box is really undervalued in my opinion. If you compare the booster box of Surging Sparks to other booster boxes on this list, but also just the booster boxes in general, you can see that Surging Sparks is still pretty cheap for today's market. But the really interesting part is that this set features Pikachu, which people just love obviously, and it also has a lot of other really good cards. Now, Surging Sparks is incredibly difficult to complete because it has so many different kind of cards, but the secret illustration rares and the illustration rares are at the same time really good. So it's really interesting to me that this booster box is not one of the most expensive booster boxes from the Scarlet and Violet era. And I think that this booster box in the future can increase a lot in value. Now it's time to move to number 4 of a list, and we're also moving to the Sword and Shield era, because number 4 on my list is Silver Tempest. Silver Tempest booster boxes are really interesting to me because these boxes are pretty cheap still at this point. I think Silver Tempest is pretty comparable to kind of like Lost Origin in terms of cards that it contains. Maybe Silver Tempest is a little less good than Lost Origin, but it's still really good. The chase card of Silver Tempest is the Lugia V alt art, which is incredibly expensive at this point because it's going for around $430 today. Now, besides that, Sword and Shield sets are going absolutely nuts. Like, all Sword and Shield sets at this point are becoming really valuable, so there's a high shot that Silver Tempest will also increase in value a lot in the next couple of months. I really think Silver Tempest is a pretty good booster box to invest in nowadays because it just has a lot of potential. The set is good, it contains cards that people like, and the boxes are already pretty expensive. And I'm really curious why the prices of these booster boxes are going to in the future. Now, number 5 on my list is going to be another Sword and Shield set, which is going to be Brilliant Stars. Now, this set is just brilliant. Okay, sorry. No, but seriously, this set is really good. Again, Brilliant Stars is another Sword and Shield set, so because of that, it just has potential as well to grow just like Silver Tempest. But in my opinion, it might be even a better set to buy than Silver Tempest, because it contains many fan favorite cards like Charizard, Umbreon, Sylveon. Now, I see Brilliant Stars kind of like as the little brother of Evolving Skies. I think Brilliant Stars is really good because, like I just said, it contains the many fan favorite cards, and the set list is just amazing. Besides that, because of the trainer gallery cards, the pull rates are also pretty good, so people really like to open this set. And the booster boxes are surprisingly still fairly cheap for a Sword and Shield booster box because it's going for $500 nowadays. And don't get me wrong, now I think about it, that's really a lot of money, but still, $500 compared to the other booster boxes like Silver Tempest and Lost Origin is still quite cheap. But because of that, I think Brilliant Stars has a lot of potential. Now, if you watch all the way to this point, good job, because I actually have a bonus booster box which I want to cover, which is also a really undervalued booster box in my opinion, and might be even more undervalued than Surging Sparks. And many people have actually forgotten about this booster box because for a long time it just hasn't been that popular. But the bonus booster box on my list is going to be Twilight Masquerade. Now, Twilight Masquerade is really similar to Lost Origin because it features one special card, which is the Greninja EX Special Illustration Rare, which is just way more expensive than the majority of the cards from the set. Now, if you take a look at the set list from Lost Origin, you can see the exact same thing for the Giratina V alt art. Now, if you take a look at the trainer gallery cards from Lost Origin, you can see a couple of cards which are really good, but at the same time, they're not as expensive as like the Giratina, for example. The exact same thing is the case with Lost Origin. It contains a couple of really good illustration rares, which are really good and pretty expensive to be honest, but not as expensive as the Greninja EX. And that's the really interesting part about Twilight Masquerade because it's so incredibly familiar with Lost Origin. Now, Lost Origin stayed really cheap for a very long time until at some point it just exploded in value. And there's a very high chance that the exact same thing is going to happen with Twilight Masquerade booster boxes. Now, again, if you like Pokemon card investing, make sure to check the PK Academy with the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.